Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for April 20th to the 30th. This is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to the end of the month. Let's get started. Let's dive right in. First, let's talk about where you're at now. All right. Remember your annual forecast. I said 2025 is a year of change. Everything changes. This starts in March. April is the bonkers month where there's enormous change, and now we're here at the end of April, where it's the most pivotal time for April. All right, so you're experiencing big shifts as you move into this brand new era in your life, and it almost feels like a graduation, a true death and rebirth. And I say that because Pluto is going to be very active, okay? The planet of death and rebirth, but like Phoenix rising from the ashes, right? There's about 5 major storylines that are happening right now. Your story, your life story, your commitments, your journey, and they're reaching this point of convergence, okay? So this is going to be like this climax, this ending, this new beginning. And a lot of it, to be honest, started in January. We're going to walk through that, okay? But there's a lot of things I didn't say in your April monthly forecast because for now, because it's just so big, all right? I didn't have time, so this is going to be big. You're going to see a lot play out, especially with Venus conjuncting Saturn. And again, we'll talk about that. We're here now, all right? So your life is changing, and I want you to know that, and you're evolving. You're riding that wave from March. Your consciousness is expanding, and you're seeing and experiencing things that you never have in your life, okay? So the collective is shifting. Remember, this is all part of the 2025 Great Awakening. There's this big awakening. We are all spiritually awakening, this big crescendo. So I really love it. Remember, Neptune in Aries is big, that spiritual warrior energy that you're tapping into, that empowered energy, and you're likely feeling really fired up, Sagittarius. Remember, we're moving into all that fire and air we have. It's like a rocket ship, all right? No retrogrades, and blends well with you being a fire sign. So move with this forward momentum, use it in the direction that you're going, the direction that you want to move into, and using it to contribute to the collective, to humanity, to your family, to your squad, your neighborhood, wherever you put that energy, okay? Because remember what I said from last week, that's going to carry over now, is like that energy of too fiery and airy, too aggressive, egos at play, okay? Especially with Mars and Leo, there's lower expressions. And again, you will see that playing out. And we'll talk about it, but just know that, yes, this is the time where there's got to be some challenging moments. And remember, with all that overwhelming energy that you're already feeling, look at the last live stream I did, the one that I was like, we need to talk. I talk a lot more about that. Okay, even the last live stream, there's a lot more information. I'll leave them at the end of this video or even in the description box. Even the cycles that we're in, the patterns that we're in. We're moving into Taurus season, the finance sign. So, I talk about that, crystals to use, what's good for healing, what's good for intuition, all of that. So remember, this is the time of caterpillar to butterfly. That is transformation. That's that death and rebirth. Think of the Fool card 0. Remember all these planets moving over that 0-degree Aries point, all right? Fresh new beginnings. You're moving into it. So get comfortable, go, grab an iced tea and a Kit Kat, and let's jump right in. And remember, you can always come back to this. I'm going to give you a lot, all right? Because this, again, is the most pivotal time before we move into May, all right? So Sunday, April 20th, before we even move into Taurus season, you know what happened. I said last week, and go back to that reading. Remember, there's 4 major aspects. Yes, major, not minor, major, that you started feeling the end of last week. You're feeling it this weekend. If you're, I dropped these videos a little bit early. If you're watching it before the weekend, Sunday's a big day. It's big, okay? And then you were going to feel these aspects play out the first week of April. All right. And it's 4 very different energy signatures. And they're important for your journey moving forward. So remember, it's like Mars trine Neptune, Venus sextile Uranus, Mercury sextile Pluto, Sun square Mars. There's just Mars conjunct Neptune. There's just a lot. All right. So remember, just watch those to get an idea of what you can expect moving forward. Now, Taurus, your last week's video. Now, Taurus season, here we are. Here we go. This is really great because it helps bring in that earth energy. Taurus being an earth sign, one of the earthiest of the earth signs, brings that grounded energy with all this fire and air, and it helps you feel centered for the next 4 weeks with everything, because Taurus rules your 6th house. So for Sagittarius, what are you going to feel for the next 4 weeks? Everything. The 6th house rules a lot, but it is your everyday activities. It's your routines. It's your lifestyle. It's your habits. It's your workplace. It's your relationship with colleagues, employees, bosses. It's your health. The 6th house is health. It's gym. It's things like that. Pets. Okay. So there could be some things here, but Taurus season is all about stability. So finding stability in those areas of your life and resilience. And Taurus is your physical world, material possessions, resources, wealth, finances, okay? Even food, right? And so the big thing here is what you value and what you desire, what makes your heart sing, all right? Taurus is it's beauty, it's sensual pleasure, sensuality, all right? So Taurus is all about the physical and the body. If Aries is I am, Taurus is I feel, okay? So basically everything from mid-March that you have been working on, your 5th house, things that bring you pleasure and joy and romance and true love and family and children, creativity, creative projects, having children, all of that. Now it's action. Now you're applying, okay? For you to feel empowered. You're applying this in your real world, in your physical world. This is you taking inspired actions for comfort. Taurus is all about comfort, okay? Comfort and security and wealth. And when I say wealth, yeah, finances, money, but also wealth in family, wealth in relationships, wealth in success, wealth, whatever what's on your path, right? So just take that action right now to build the world that you want to live in, all right? Remember I said sensuality. I want you to feel it, all 5 senses, okay? Right, I said food is part, there may be something with food here. Health and food, that's a sense, taste, right? So just know that there's and music and art and visualizing, all of that. So just know that one thing about Taurus season is that you can get too comfortable with what you have and not do anything else, waiting for things to happen. That's for everybody though. That's like that if there was like a lower expression, right? Because it's all about comfort. So just remember, take your inspired actions, trust your intuition, continue on your journey, and you will, because look at what's happening. Monday, April 21st, we have Saturn and Venus conjuncting the North Node, okay? But you see what's happening on the 24th. We have Saturn and Venus conjuncting. So they've been together for months. You've been experiencing this for months, all right? A lot of stuff with home, a lot of stuff with family, with parents, with children, with your significant other, with real estate, with renovations, with housework, with, property matters, all of that, all right? So now I want you to see this as a package deal, April 21st to the 24th. Okay, because they're all together, but these are the days of their perfection. So you're going to feel it strongly. Now, Venus and Saturn conjuncting the North Node, that's happening at 26 degrees. What are the chances? First of all, 26 degrees just happens to be the Taurus degree. Interesting, right? So there is for you something here. And remember 26 degrees. I'm going to bring it up later. It's going to be a strong energy for these 2 weeks. But there's something here in terms of bringing security and wealth and comfort in the foundations of your life. Okay? Family, parents, children, relationships, all of that. Now, so as you know, as I mentioned in your April forecast, like Venus and Saturn happen with a North Node for some time. Okay, they've been dancing, they've been laughing, they've been, playing hopscotch, drinking, Zima, whatever they've been having some fun, and even negotiating. So what does that mean for you? Well, now that is one of the major storylines I was talking about is playing out now. Okay, so it's a 3-part act. January 18th, I want you to think about what happened for you January 18th and the weeks after that, okay? That's when we had the first Venus-Saturn conjunction. That's when things were coming up in the home sector for y'all, all right? There was something really playing out there. And that is also when we, the North Node moved into Pisces. Anyway,
You've been focusing on your true purpose. That's what the North Node is, your destiny, your mission statement, the direction that you are going. Okay. And so, with the fact that Venus, Mercury, and Mars were retrograde the past few months, you spent that time reassessing what do I want. Okay. Even work matters for you, by the way, even work and creative projects. But you've been reassessing things and re examining your goals. What do I truly want moving forward? And now you have this fated point of convergence. Like I said, now with Venus, you're asking yourself at this point, April 21st, what does bring me pleasure? What does my heart desire? Venus is exalted in Pisces. Yeah, so it's sweet and wonderful, and there's something really compelling when it comes to love and relationships and money and creativity and creative projects and beauty and passion and harmony and diplomacy. You're putting it all on the table. You're charting out your journey, your karmic journey. This is Venus, the heart-based. I want you to feel something here. You're going to feel something here, like really moving in your soul. Like this is the North Node activated, okay? Think of the North Node as like your spiritual GPS to your destiny, all right? Now, Saturn is a different story. Remember, he's on the North Node, so he comes in hard. I told you about Saturn. He can be structure. He's bones. He's the long term. He's authority. He's reality checks. Saturn is life lessons. Thus, he represents karma. So now you got karma on the point of fate and destiny for you. So this is a really big time. April 21st to the 24th. What is happening here is that basically Saturn is saying if you haven't been putting in the work, for what you want, for what your heart desires here with Venus, Saturn is saying, listen, I'm going to be Gandalf and say, you shall not pass. Okay. Have you been passing Saturn's test? Have you been learning your karmic lessons since January? Have you been evolving or just holding on to things? Remember, this is a time where you could just be holding on to things because it's comfortable, but no, because things are going to change, but you want to take control. You want to grab life by the horns. So, do you know your goals? Do you know the legacy you want to leave behind? If you don't, that's fine. Saturn is just going to say, do a couple more laps, get the creative juices going, and then come back. All right? Because what Saturn is doing, he amplifies the North Node, which amplifies that house it's in, which is your fourth house of the foundations of your life. Building that stability, that structure as you move forward with loved ones and family and home, all of that. So it's really, really going to be a big moment for you. And a lot of y'all already know, like, again, y'all have been working with this for months. And that's the other thing. If you have been working with Saturn, if you have stayed true to your authentic self, if you put in the work, you passed. Here it is. You get your certificate. Mission accomplished. Saturn, now you get to reap rewards. Saturn being karma. Saturn's like, great, I'm going to build that bridge for you. I am going to offer stability, support for long-term commitments and goals and, that structure, your devotion, all of that. Okay, so this is really great. Saturn being an authority. There is someone in your life that can actually be a builder for you, that really does take things to the next level for you. Saturn typically, he's time, right? Father time. Saturn is father. So there could be a father, there could be a father figure, there could be a boss, someone just, but also there maybe even like a realtor or an investor, you just never know. But anyway, here's the thing. Everything that you have been going through, all the, challenges and that overwhelming energy that I explained, okay, in one of my live streams, the weekend we should talk, they were just tests. They were tests for you to know what direction you want to go. It's your destiny, Sagittarius. Saturn was just saying, how much do you want this? Because if you didn't know, Saturn made you know. Right? So Saturn was actually helping. Venus, Mercury retrograde, they were helping. They were helping you reassess your new direction, your brand new era, this whole new world. Venus is pleasure and harmony, and she's so sweet and special. Saturn is hard. Yeah, he limits. He's disciplined. He says no. Venus says yes. Venus is hot. Saturn is cold. So very different energies. Very different energies, but there's compromise here. Why? Because Venus is exalted. Venus is no longer retrograde. Venus has all her power. And so she can ease Saturn. So, yeah, this is a big moment for you. Because remember, even coming after that full moon in Libra, the big one, okay? So both of the lunations this month, right? A Venus ruled full moon. We have a Venus ruled new moon. So all about pleasures and your commitments and family, all of that. But Venus, again, is basically just going to Saturn and being like, dude, chill out a bit. Chill out. Let me give them some of this love and pleasure, things they desire. So it's great. And then remember what I said, April 4th, right? That's when we had Uranus exalt Saturn. We haven't seen that in 30 years. And you're going to feel that play out for the entire year. They're two slow moving planets. What? Uranus being the great awakener and the year of the awakening, right? Spiritual awakening, but also conscious awakening. Uranus is like lightning, breakthroughs, innovation, bolts of clarity, freedom. That's what it is, Uranus, okay? You'll see Pluto very active too. And so Uranus is here in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships, one-on-one commitments. So your relationship with your lawyer, your, agent, your publicist, your social media manager, your sister, doesn't matter, whatever resonates with you, wherever that energy is. And legal matters too, contracts, agreements, marriage, all of that. There's something here, all right? Because Uranus, who is Saturn's son, is also going to Saturn saying, dude, dad, chill. Let me bring them this change, okay? This is my time. Let me give them that awakening, that breakthrough. So this is really helping too, all right? So this is what brings that great change. You have to take that inspired action though, all right? They're just open the door for you. This is your big break, Sagittarius, all right? Now, what's really amplifying this energy is April 24th. It is not just Saturn and Venus conjuncting that perfection. It is Saturn, Venus, the North Node, and the Moon all in this like group hug, all right? Remember, the North Node in Pisces, that's your spiritual awakening. That's your spiritual path. That's your healing path, okay? So now you got the Moon here again. So this is really, so remember, Saturn that's like dreams, right? That's your big dreams. And Saturn turning your dreams into reality. This is big because even though this can be a very hard aspect, you have an exalted Venus conjuncting the Moon. That alone, wow. Chef's kiss. Did I even do that right? It's very romantic is what I'm saying. Venus conjuncting the Moon. Very romantic. Again, in your home sector, relationships, loved ones. But what's special here is that Venus is going to be at her degree of exaltation. What does that even mean? Well, Venus, remember, is exalted in Pisces. So it's basically her in her throne, but her throne is like people are carrying her, right? Now, when she's at her exact degree of exaltation, that's happening because she's also being crowned. So April 24th, 25th, you're going to feel this, okay? It's wonderful. This is love, beauty, romance, relationships, all of that. A lot of things that have to do in the home sector too. Really amplified pleasure, things that bring, make your heart sing. Really, like this is your soul being moved. So again, heart-based living. I want you to feel this. Venus is the heart. I really want you to feel this. All right. We don't get this again until like Valentine's Day 2026. Perfect timing, by the way. But anyway, I want you to one of the big takeaways for you, Sagittarius, or everybody, all these planets, Venus and Saturn, are actually, with them being with the North Node, they're helping you. All right. So it's really, really, really nice. They're helping you on your path and your journey. And again, look at my last live stream. I talk about this. Some of y'all have your North Node in Pisces. Some of you have it in Virgo. Some of you have it in different signs. It's just the big emphasis for you is home, family, the foundations of your life. It's like builder energy with Saturn here. Relationships. You got marriage stuff. You have contract stuff, realtor stuff. You have a lot happening. Okay. Now, and remember the Moon will be conjuncting Saturn too. So that can be like a little bit more, like very like let's be disciplined. But again, putting your dreams to reality. And in order for that to happen with the moon conjunct Saturn, you do have to, there is an element of like, I do have to establish new rules, new habits, new routines, get rid of old systems, old structures, old ways of thinking, old patterns. This is all about the new as you enter this brand new era to reap your rewards. Saturn rewards you, right? So you even may have like deja vu moments from the last week of March. Now, I told you about Saturn being dad energy. Well, the moon is mom. And the fact that you've got this all happening in your fourth house of family, of parents, yeah, there, and then all that Aries energy where there's an element of that too with family and children and parents and whatnot. Yeah, they may be in the picture. All right, this around this time, just keep that in mind. Like help, like, yeah. All right, so. Or father figure or mother figure or strong feminine energy, strong, like authority figure, grandmother, grandfather, boss, whatever it is, landlord, whatever it is. Now, remember what I said about the 26 degrees, Venus, Saturn, North Node conjunction happening at 26 degrees. The Taurus degree, 26 degrees, is the degree of love and creativity. Like you can't make this up with Venus at her exalted degree happening at the same time. This is creation. All right. And you are creating because you have all this new energy in Aries, which is the fifth house, which is creation, creativity, procreation, right? Recreation. Think of the Empress card, by the way. That's what this energy is. So amazing. And what I love about the 26 degrees in astrology is that it is a culmination point. Like I said, that's what you're feeling. And it's more of like a sigh of relief. That's what it is. After having gone through some choppy waters, yeah. So it is pretty amazing. Okay. And don't forget next month, just putting it on your radar because this is going to be big. And that's why I want you to take action now and plan things out. That's why I'm here for you to give you these dates so you can plan. Next month, Saturn officially moves into Aries, joining Neptune. Okay. That is going to be really big for you, Sagittarius. Really big. All right. So basically, Pisces is passing Saturn to the Aries area of your chart, like he did with Neptune, saying, I'm done with them. And remember, that's that 0 degree point between Pisces and Aries, the degree of new beginnings, the world axis, the creation point. Yeah. Moving into your fifth house of creation. Like, I can't make this up. That's just you only, by the way, Sagittarius. Aries rules your fifth house. So again, what brings you pleasure, joy? It is the house of joy. A lot of family energy, children. A lot of y'all having kids or have had kids or grandkids or your friends have had kids or your neighbors have had kids. There's something here with kids involved or you're a teacher with students. And then creativity is a big thing for y'all right now. So, fresh new beginnings. Get excited. Aries energy, remember, pioneering spirit, leader. It's fiery. You want to take that action. It's the I am. But this, and we'll talk about more next month, but Saturn and Neptune together at that 0 degree point, well, ish, between 0 to 2. Anyway, it just brings a whole new energy to your destiny. Okay? Remember, North Node and Pisces all year. Now, if you are a cross watcher, if you watch for your rising or your moon, and I encourage it, a lot of y'all have questions about it. I leave it in the description box, the difference, how to get it, your birth chart, right? Because that's important. Because, Sagittarius rising, well, you're going to feel everything I said the most, all right? But all Sagittarius is going to feel what I said, okay? If you watch for rising moon or, even for like your husband or your kid or, your business partner, whoever, first, everyone's going to feel this greatly, every sign, but the mutable signs, all right? Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, and you are going to feel it the most. Now, if you know your birth chart, your natal chart, again, look at the description box. How to find it. If you have any planets between 23 to 29 degrees of any of the signs that I just mentioned, it does not matter which one. because you look at the angular aspects, you're going to feel it the most. All right. Because that's your birth. That's, you're going to feel it. So let's talk about Pluto. Oh my gosh. What time is it? Okay. Let's talk about, okay. So Pluto, this is going to be really big for you. All right, Sagittarius. Again, I said this is going to be a pivotal next 2 weeks. This is the second checkpoint. All right. Saturn was the first. Pluto's the second. Pluto's coming in hard. He's like the Incredible Hulk. Okay. That superhero. Because why? Pluto likes to break things. Okay. Pluto is death and rebirth. Pluto is transformation, regeneration. All right. Breaking things down for your breakthrough, for your rebirth, right? You can't have rebirth without that death part. That's why it's called death and rebirth. So there's a big change here. And that's why it's the Incredible Hulk, right? He goes from human to the, superhero. He likes to break things down. So, and because Pluto is very psychological, it's very forensic. I've talked about this, very Mulder, Scully, like you're going really deep and nerding out like Bruce Banner, the scientist, the physicist. Yeah. And you actually are going to feel more of the, Incredible Hulk side, but Pluto is an Aquarius. So what does that mean? First, you should be celebrating, jumping up and down that Pluto has finally left Capricorn. That was really hard for you since 2008. You're free now. You're free. All right, Sagittarius, you're free. But here's the thing. You and a couple other signs, like that was really great for you. And like Pluto and Aquarius being an air sign just blends well with you. Anyway, here's the thing. That Pluto and Aquarius rules your third house of communication. So anything like writing, researching, reporting, also the conversations you have, also, things that you sign, agreements, verbal agreements. This is also travel. It's also commerce. It's launching businesses. It's launching something new. That's the third house. Being curious about doing something new. All right. A lot of focus again on communication, but also like your local community, travel, short distance travel, and family. You have a lot of family stuff happening. This is siblings, though. This is a big focus on siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, and neighbors. All right. And selling things, mercantile, right? Mercury rules the third house. So what does that mean? You got Wednesday, April 23rd, the Sun square Pluto. So remember that this is a challenging aspect because they're two fixed signs. You have the Sun in Taurus, Pluto in Aquarius. So it can be challenging, sure. But remember, on Sunday, we had the Sun square Mars. And so you're going to feel this energy from Sunday to this point. Like that's the peak of it, the hot spot. Because Mars is in Leo. Remember, Leo is a fixed sign too. And Mars in Leo, absolutely amazing. But when it's in an aspect like this, where now it's like a three-way square off, yeah, it's a little challenging. Remember, Mars and Leo can bring out that pride and ego. And now you got the Sun and Pluto involved. So no, they're fixed signs. No one's budging. So it's not seeing eye to eye. It's a lot of ego. It's a lot of power trips, a lot of power struggles. Remember, Mercury's in Aries, so that can already be very, aggressive. So what does this mean? There is a sense of wanting too much power and too much control, being very controlling, very micromanaging, very like egos at play. So with that said, you do have here's the thing. There's definitely going to be a lot of y'all with colleagues, bosses, and people in the workplace. Okay. There's definitely going to be some things with relatives. Okay. That may come up. Right. And then lastly, it's almost like you with Gemini have both of this, but backwards, but you've got your two travel houses activated. And again, this is up until Friday too, because you see Mars opposite Pluto. We'll get to that. So just be very mindful if you are traveling. Okay. And I'm not saying like any bad's going to happen. I'm saying like, remember, ego's at play. People are going to be, it's for the collective. Everybody feels these energies. It's like power trips, power struggles. So if you're like, let's say like, I don't know, checking in at your flight, it's like the desk person could be like, really just not in the mood. And because she's not in the mood and she's being, or he, whatever, they're being like, to you, it could make you like, too, right? That's what I'm saying. Okay. So just be mindful. Because remember, you're on a karmic journey. Yeah. So if that person's in a mood, then you'd be like, oh, thank you. I love your hair. You look great. Are you, everything good? Yeah. Then she's like, oh, this person's actually really, I've seen like 20 people that were in moods that put me in a mood. This person's actually being very nice. I'm going to upgrade her. I'm going to upgrade him. You see how this works? You see how karma works? So trust your intuition. Okay. Trust your intuition. You're going to be fine. You just have the 2 travel houses activated. And even local community too. Even like education, something in an educational environment as well. Maybe something in a bookstore too. FYI. So the fact that you have Pluto in your 3rd house of communication, a lot of this can be you. And the way that you're communicating can come off really... right? So just trust your intuition. Here's the other thing. 2 things, actually. A, you're vibrating at a high frequency. Yeah. If you are just at that point of inspiration, enlightenment, gratitude, love for everybody, you're not even going to feel this. All right. You're going to be fine. That's why I always talk about energy. But here's the other thing is like, this is really great physically. Or I've talked about this last week. Okay. So this builds confidence too. This is very motivating. Use it in the right way. Pluto in Aquarius is very innovative. It's genius energy. You can have some really bold conversations around this time, moving the needle forward. Pluto is also, like I said, goes deep. So there's something here revelatory. It's revelations, things coming to the surface. It could be something within you. Pluto goes deep. It's psychological. You could have immense clarity around this time, unrooting things from your subconscious. And to be honest, it's just freeing yourself from a situation or a person that you need to continue on your journey. Anyone that's just like, that power trip and power struggle. All right. Even if it's just temporary, just like, listen, everyone's going to be in moods with an EW, right? Don't let anyone get your goat. You're going to be fine. You're on your path. Just remember what I said. Everything has ripple effects. Inspired actions take inspired actions. Okay. That's what karma is. All right. That's why we say actions have consequences. That's karma. So remember, love, heart-based living, okay? Living through your heart, not the ego, all right? Because it is a big buildup. It's not just that one aspect. It's a big buildup. So Pluto is empowerment too. So this is you like feeling empowered, all right? So see what happened for you. Again, we're looking back to January, around January 20th and, I'd say weeks following it. All right. When it comes to communication, when it comes to agreements and verbal agreements and conversations that you had and sisters and, brothers and relatives and neighbors and travel and education or something new, because that's when we have the sun conjunct Pluto, the Pluto Cazimi. So that's a year-long cycle. It happens once a year. So that's another storyline playing out for you. And this is just a little, plot point along the way. All right. So now Friday, April 25th. This is the big one. All right. So this is a big kahuna. Mars opposite Pluto. So in opposition, you're going to feel it the entire week before. You're going to feel it like building. Boom. And then you get to the 25th. And then after, you're going to feel it for about a week, 2 weeks after. Yeah. This is an aspect that brings heat to the kitchen. Are there too many cooks in the kitchen? Remember, a lot of egos at play. So think about this. We had this the first week of November. Think about what happened around that time. We had this on January 2nd. Think about what happened the week before, 2 weeks after, because Mars did go retrograde, like right after January 2nd. And something from that time around January because of that, will come around. Something that has to do with home and family and loved ones and wealth and money. Maybe someone owes you money. Maybe you owe someone money. Maybe there's something here with loans. Maybe there's something here with like paying off debts. I mean, we are coming after, tax season. Maybe there's something here with taxes. Maybe there's something here with, inheritance, investments. Anyway, that's the Cancer area of your chart. Something with partnerships, relationships, business partners too. But just keep that in mind. Just know this is the third act. This is another storyline that's done now. Okay. This is the final one. No more. This is it. You're not going to see this for a while. So these are the two most powerful planets, and they are doing a little bit of West Side Story. All right. So, Pluto, I don't know if y'all know this. And, I think, a lot of y'all, I like to make some of these educational so you can take it away with you. Pluto is actually the higher octave of Mars. And so what's happening here is Pluto's taking Mars's energy and amplifying it. Okay. And so just keep that in mind. Remember, this is something that is definitely the way that you're communicating, or, again, there's something here with education and learning and travel are the biggest things, but there can be something here that's testing you spiritually, and there's something here with communication, something here where you're putting out to the world as well. Mars is in Leo. That's your ninth house, and you are the native ruler of the ninth house. So just keep that in mind. All right. Something about your philosophies and your belief system could be tested as well. Don't let anyone take your power. Remember that, because this is a lot of ego energy. This is power trips. It's come at me, bro. And it is authorities and bosses, and maybe even domineering, people in your lives that you're just like, whoa, I need to stay frosty, be cool, and maybe fine, right? Everything that's happening here with these stronger aspects is very like choose your battles wisely. Just remember to channel your energy constructively. Okay. Think about how far you've come, all the challenges and overwhelming energies that you've been going through. Right. And think about how far you're about to go. So don't let anyone trip you up. Okay. This is, just use this in physical ways. Remember, it's Mars. So physicality. So you can do this where, do a little power walk, go, take a karate class, or go see the Four Non-Blondes of a reunion concert, if that's even happening. I don't know. Do something that just be active and constructive. Okay. But there is going to be, with Pluto here in your third house, very likely there's something coming to the surface that you're going to want to say. So it's all about how you say it. Okay. Now, and you may even be getting messages around this time. Now, what's really great is that Uranus is in Taurus, right? And will be sextiling the North Node. That's huge, crazy, strong. Karmic winds of change. We're going to talk about that in the second spread. Okay. There's something opening up here with, partnerships, relationships, legal matters, commitments, second spread. But what's really amplifying this day is that Aries now enters the scene. Okay. And so again, we'll talk about it in the second spread, but Aries is the sister of Mars. And if Mars is the warrior god, it means Aries is that feminine warrior goddess. Spiritual, very spiritual, planetoid, dwarf planet, she's big. All right. So she, your Greek mythology, right? Like, she's the one who threw the golden apple at the wedding, in the wedding, and caused that's what she does. And she's active to date. All right. With a very strong fixed grand cross. There's gonna be some words, here. But again, we'll talk about your second spread where we talk about the asteroids. So fixed signs: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Aries. I'm throwing in Aries there. Yeah. Those are the signs. If you watch for rising or moon for your lover, whoever, your kid, those are the signs that are going to feel this the most, this day the most. Okay. Remember also Juno moved back into Scorpio too. So there's a fixed sign. Now, if you have any planets in any of the signs that I just mentioned, right, between 1 to 5 degrees, you will feel it the most. Now, the 27th, we have the new moon in Taurus, exactly 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's New York City time. If you want to convert that to wherever you live in the world, this is big. Mark this in your calendar. This is big. Sunday the 27th. It's a super moon, okay? The biggest one of the year. What does that even mean? It's big. It's going to be powerful. It's orbiting very close to Earth. It's not a full moon. It's a new moon. All right. So very different. So you're going to feel this energy. Why? Not only is it a super moon and the biggest one of the year, you have a T-square this day too. So the moon and the sun and Pluto are not seeing eye to eye. They have their colors flipped up. They're wearing their aviators. This can be a loud new moon. All right. So just keep that in mind. There's going to be something here where I've already told you how to like constructively release your energy. So you will know, we're all adults here. You know how to handle your energies now. And so this is going to be in your 6th house. And that's why I'm making a big thing here for you. Because again, this is everyday activities. This is the workplace. This is work. This is health matters. This is doctors, physical therapists, personal trainers, vets, all of that. All right. There's hard energy when you put all of these other hard energies together. It can be hard. However, it's still a new moon and it's a big one. Plant seeds. Okay. Plant seeds. What do you want for the next 6 months? All right. There's something new happening in your everyday activities. That's where this is. Now, when I say plant seeds, and look at my last live streams, I've talked about how to manifest correctly. It's just, you never want to do it out of low energy frequency, which some of these aspects are, they try to pull you in that. Don't fall for it. What have I been repeating the whole time? Heart-based love, heart-based. Okay. When you plant seeds, when you set intentions from a place of love and from your heart, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Okay. From the soul. It's a Venus ruled new moon, like I said. All right. So, and it's, the moon in general is just exalted in Taurus anyway. So the moon does its best in Taurus. It's a great one. It's just like the T-squared just, yeah. So again, if you're vibrating at a high frequency, you're not going to feel any of that. You're not going to, that's super conscious love. So new moons, new beginnings, new chapters for you. Please spend time in nature. Yeah. Taurus, that earth energy, that nature energy, of the healing frequencies of nature. But it looks like a lot of y'all are going to be having new jobs, or your entire life is changing. It's your 6th house. It's like your entire life is changing. There can be something new with, like health as well. And pets, a lot of you are going to be getting pets, but it's your routines. And remember, Saturn is saying, shake up old routines that no longer serve you. This entire time it's been doing that. So this is a new moon that has really strong 8 energy. Remember what I said about all these aspects happening at 26 degrees. All right. So we obviously know that's an 8. Okay. So these 2 weeks, really strong 8 energy, because 8 degrees is, it's a critical degree for fixed signs in general, FYI, which obviously includes Taurus, therefore really strong. And this is a new moon that's happening at 8 degrees. Okay. Technically 7 degrees 46. You round that up. It's 8. It doesn't matter. You add 7, 4, 6, you get 8. Strong 8 energy. Okay. What is 8? 8 is very auspicious. It's prosperity. It's success. It's wealth. Remember, Taurus is all about wealth. You have a new moon in Taurus that just aligns with 8. Taurus is a finance sign. So this is wealth building. All right. A lot of y'all are going to be starting side hustles too, or side projects. There's something here, big projects. 8 is even it's cosmic harmony. Think of like the infinity symbol, the circle 8. I mean, this is big. All the ancients associated 8 with paradise. Most of the ancients. All right. Pythagoras did, who created numerology basically. All right. Paradise. What is your paradise? What is your paradise? The vision you have for yourself, the reality that you're creating for yourself. All right. There's something big here. Even the Buddha, 8 petals of a lotus. All right. That's your path. That's your path to enlightenment. All right. Think about a lotus going through all the mud to be this beautiful, like, you know what I mean? Like, so this is great. It is actually really, really wonderful. It's just, let's just do that heart-based intentions. All right. Because there is something else that's happening here with the nodes it is like shaking things up. It's in a big way. We'll talk about it in the second spread. Anyway, and it has to do with your North Node. Anyway, fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Libra. And I'm throwing in Capricorn and Virgo, the earth signs as well. I'm going to feel this new moon the most. Now, if you have any planets in fixed signs or earth signs between 4 to 10 degrees, yeah, you're going to feel this. Now, Wednesday, the 30th, Venus moves into Aries again. Yes, again, we've already experienced this for months, but now you got Mercury and Venus together again until May 10th. Wow. That's fiery. That's Superman, Supergirl together, the Wonder Twins, Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, whoever, right? And if you get that reference, please let me know. Now, this is all in Aries. Again, you got this fiery energy. Mercury, mind. Venus, heart. Heart, mind. Have that coherence, all right? Fiery. Use this, all right? This is your 5th house of pleasure and joy, all right? True love, romance, family, children, creativity, everything I mentioned earlier, even wealth. There's an element of wealth and fame with the 5th house. It's great. Money here. And it's all about wealth building anyway. So you've got that overlap. Remember, Venus was in Aries all of February, went retrograde in March, and then we had that double retrograde up until a few weeks ago. So here's the thing. This is another storyline. Brand new beginning. What your mind wants, what your heart wants, that coherence I talked about. But what did you want in March that you could not get? What was happening in March that you were confused about? Now you have that clarity, and now you know what you want. Venus and Aries, we talked about this. It's very like, this is what I want, and I'm going to get it no matter what. That's Venus and Aries, okay? So you've got Venus and Aries until June. Big. All right. So, and there's something happening here. We'll talk about it in the second spread, but there is a big aspect you're going to start feeling. All right. I'm sorry, I'm running out of time, but it's, yeah. So this is going to be a big day for you when Venus moves back into Aries out of Pisces. Very different vibe. Sagittarius, let's see what's going on for you. All right. For April 20th to the 30th. And I am losing my voice. That's why I'm trying to and I know it's okay. So, Sagittarius, how are y'all doing? Oh my goodness, y'all. Big time. Listen, every sign, it's like I said, April is just bonkers and everyone's lives are changing and you're seeing things play out in new ways in your life. But I want you to be part of that, right? Steer your destiny. Your reality, create your reality. And you see that for you, there's a lot of major stuff happening, like really big. And just wait until we get to May. There's something else there that's like, whoa, you're like one of the best things ever for you. Like, it's big. Let's get started. Sagittarius. Yeah. All right. So I do a traditional Cultic Cross spread, offers the best overview. You're good. You're good. You're absolutely good. Good for you. You deserve this. I love this. You're amazing. You're amazing. I'm going to give you a little ding, 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 or, mic drop. Okay. Look, you got the 5 of Pentacles. All right. Things were hard. And I told you that. Things have been hard, challenging, and overwhelming. All right. But if you were vibrating at the high frequency, you're fine. But this is in your recent past. So this is you being hard on yourself. All right. There were things that the universe was telling you, you've got to let this go. Okay. You got to let this go. I got this whole new world for you. You can't bring this into the new world because that's just baggage. And there you go. All right. So a lot of this could have to do with money, finances. You see the pentacles here, right? But what did I say? Your physical reality, that's what pentacles are. You see the 5-pointed star, that's consciousness, that's your physical world. That also, this card is a Taurus card. It's what Taurus represents as you move into Taurus season, all right? So there could be something here where you recognize, and if you haven't yet, because I dropped these, forecasts a little bit before the time of, do it. Recognize, what is it that I am being hard on myself for? What am I holding on to that I've got to let go? Or what is holding me back and not letting me be my authentic self, right? And there could have been some circumstances. Yes, this could indicate like there was some financial loss, or there could have been something like, you lost a client, things like that. But again, it's to make room for the big, bold new that's about to come in. And like I just said, I'm just looking just real quickly. I saw like May. I was like, whoa, and that's like, you're going to love that. So anyway, there you go. That's, again, this is in your past. So you have to recognize it. You have to look up. These people are looking down. They're focusing on their plight and, in a sense, like refusing to see the cup half full. And remember, that's what I said. What Taurus season can be, like being in a place where it's like, I'm not doing anything to, you've got to like recognize, are you being hard on yourself, especially spiritually too? When I look at what's going on for y'all, Are you being hard on yourself? And is there something here that you recognize intuitively, this is not for me, and so I got to make some change? All right? That's literally a church. You got all this support around you. The pentacles shaped as an anchor. There's that anchor of hope, right? So all you got to do is look up, and when you do, you're good. You let that go, you're good. A lot of it is, again, more you being hard on yourself, and I just don't want you to be hard on yourself. Look, in the heart of your spirit, you have the Page of Pentacles. What? Right? Another pentacle, right? Wealth building, as I mentioned, right? And so there's something new. Page is bringing that new energy, and this is double Earth, okay? We're moving into Earth energy, Taurus energy. This is double. Pages are earthbound, so are pentacles. This is Taurus energy. So something truly rooting up in your life. Remember, I said there's a lot of things that you're learning that's new. You've got your 3rd and 9th house activated. So there is this sense of like maybe you're launching a business, starting a new job, starting a side hustle, starting a side gig, or something's coming through within your physical world, material world. You're learning something new. There's something new. That's all it is. Your 3rd house activated. Everything else too. During the new moon in Taurus, big. All right. So I love this. This is great. You can expect it. And take that inspired action. He's the biggest student of the pages. All right. Fresh new beginning. What did I say? Spend time in nature. There's a reason why he's outside. All right. Please you're going to see the difference when you connect with nature. You have the 9 of Swords. Okay. 2 messages coming through. One, it's more like I don't mind it because it's you coming out of something once you have that release, and it's like you get to let that go. And when you let that go, you see what comes through, right? If you have, it's like if you have, I don't know, a cake in a box. You can't put another cake in there, right? If all the cake is there, people got to eat some of the pieces and give a new cake in. That makes absolutely no sense, but I hope you get it. But yeah, that's just like making room, all right? Not being hard on yourself, not overthinking, not overanalyzing. This is also someone who's like, what did I do wrong? Or what did someone do to me that makes me feel this way? But not doing anything about it. Again, there's that sense of like just sitting there and stewing in that energy. But again, for you, it does seem like there's a sense of like freeing yourself, of being hard on yourself, especially up here. It's a sword suit. Remember, you have Pluto and Aquarius in your 3rd house up here. All right. Use that. Don't let it use you. I always say that. Now you got the 3 of Wands. Great. 3, 1 + 2 equals new reality. There's something new that you are looking to do. There's something here where you're ready to broaden your horizons. Okay. That's this 3rd house energy I'm harping on. Very active for you. All right. So this is really wonderful. Maybe starting a new family or wanting to start a family or doing something different with family or buying a new home or going out there and moving to another country or doing some travel, starting your business. All right. This is all about doing something new for growth and advancement and, growing. Okay. That's what this is. Wands are your passions, your ambitions. A lot of work-related stuff is happening for y'all. All right, so keep that in mind. It's all sky here. The sky's the limit, right? You're ready. You're ready. Now, you have that 8 of Swords and the root of your spread, okay? So what's really interesting here is that this is what we call like the self-victim card, right? Like she put herself here. She's wearing a blindfold. She's refusing to face her truth, her realities. But when you look at the full picture here, do you see how there's like a lot of like you see the progression here? And so being hard on yourself, being hard on yourself, being hard on yourself to the point where you're not taking inspired action, where it's like, that's the self-victim card. That's the self-victim. So, and I'm not saying that any of y'all are doing that. I'm just saying like, look at your spread, but it's all about taking that step forward and facing your realities and taking those inspired actions. And that is what frees you. Uranus, I said, is very active. And it's when you've got Uranus exiling the North Node until June, that's big. All right. So really big in your partnerships, relationships, legal matters, commitments, all of that. So it's like freeing yourself. But here's the thing. When you look at this, there is a sense of there is someone here. There is someone here that is likely putting you in this place that is making it hard for you to be your authentic self. That's why I'm saying don't be hard on yourself. And you've got to like face these, you've got all that come at me, bro, ego trip energy that's happening this time. And you want to use those aspects, right? You want to get out of certain situations. I'm seeing someone else here that's putting you it, and you got to ask yourself, who is it? Who has that hold on you? Who has too much power over you? Who is that? Right? You've got to ask, is it a boss? Is it a partner? You've got to break free. Look what happens. All your hopes and wishes, you got the star in your future. Like, you're good. But you got to break free. You got to break free. And it starts with self-love. What did I say? Heart-based living. Okay? Feel it in your soul. You got to make some big decisions. And it might be hard. But when you do, think of how good that will feel. Think about how good that will feel. You got the star. That's saying, hey, you're good. I got you. You can express yourself. You can be yourself. You can see she's not wearing any clothes. That's true expression. Nothing to hide. That's freedom. This card is attributed to Aquarius, which is freedom. Freeing yourself. Revolution. You see the water bear here. You see the stars aligning. And guess what? You see it's card 17. 1 plus 7 equals 8. All right. What did I say about 8? So you're moving in that direction. All right. You see the 8 stars. They're all 8 pointed. Do you see how everything is leading to this kismet moment for you? Where everything that you want, this is a card of healing too. What did I talk about? Like that growth and that fertility and all these things blossoming with this new moon for you. There's a reason why the water bear is pouring onto the land too. Her world is growing. I said, build the world that you want to live in. Yeah. You've got to take that action and you're going to be fine. You're going to be good. That's a lot of enlightenment, a lot of wisdom. You're going to be good. You're going to be fine. All right. Sagittarius, I love y'all. I love y'all. Let's get to your stuff. Yeah, Sagittarius, if you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. There's someone that's got a little bit too much power. All right. So don't be afraid to, be your authentic self. And, it's all about compromise. And remember your karmic actions. Yeah. You're amazing. I'm always here for you. Okay. Tell me what's going on. I love y'all. All right. So, yeah, you're good. You're good. You have this huge opportunity to break out of a cycle. All right. Remember, look at my last live stream. We're talking about like, we're going through like 20 cycles right now, the end of 20 cycles, new ones. It's insane. A lot, 20,000, 20 million. But yeah, you have that chance to break free. You got to break free. You have that 7 of Pentacles. Yeah. Sure. A lot of y'all are thinking about that. Am I happy? That's at the end of the day. Am I happy? Yeah. You got another Taurus card here. So really take advantage of this earth, right? Go out in nature, but it's your 6th house, your everyday activities. Look at this. And remember, I said wealth building. That's a thing, and focusing on that. What have you invested your time, your energy, your blood, sweat, tears into? Take that pause. Think about it. Does it make me happy? Has it reached a point of fatigue? Its expiration date. And deep down inside, I know there's something else, right? And I'm not saying, it can just be like a change in a certain relationship. You just got to break free. You got to just have that conversation, right? Or a partnership or work related, or anyway, like maybe your agent, whoever it is, your wedding planner, whoever it is, you just got to have that pause and think about it. All right. And you're going to be fine. You got a lot of Taurus cards. You've got strength. Like, how good are you? You're good AF. Because, and I don't make this up, and you saw me shuffle, and this is mind blowing of epic proportions. Okay. Card 8, right next to the card of 8. The star corresponds to the strength card, card 8. So you just got that in succession after that Page of Pentacles, okay, in your external factors area. What did I say about that infinity symbol? You got only one. You got only two people in all of tarot that have it, by the way, over their heads. Infinite possibilities, mind over matter, infinite possibilities. You tapping into that inner courage, that spiritual warrior that I talked about, that you're already feeling like this is it. That's being bold. That's being true to you. That's saying my way or the highway, because this is what I deserve, right? That courage. Everything is aligning for you. I don't think I've ever seen this, actually, by the way, when you got the star with the strength, but like right here in your future and your external factors, they're working together harmoniously. All right. But it also does look like there is someone on your side, very feminine figure, with the strength card, or, feminine energy. Could be a mother, could be, like I said, that's a lot of, like, you got a lot of family stuff. So it really could be like a relative, but it also could be like a boss or anything that I mentioned earlier, but there truly feels like there's someone on your side that's making things align for you, happen for you. But even still, it's just like the universe fueling all this like strength in you the next 2 weeks for things to happen, which, by the way, I said the big focus is partnerships, relationships, one-on-one commitments, and then you got the Two of Cups. So yeah, perfect. You got the winged lion here. You got the lion here. We remember you got Mars and Leo. That's in your ninth house of spirituality, your perspective, your wisdom, inner wisdom, being full. Like this is, and you are the native ruler of the ninth house. You would know all about it. So anyway, that's what you want. There's healing here too. You see the caduceus, right? What I say, it's a year of the snake, right? You see the two snakes around the rod. The Kundalini life force, like you're good. There's something here that is beautiful that's happening for you, because you got judgment, your final outcome. And there you go. There's a spiritual awakening. There's your big moment. There's your aha moment. I did say this is not only the year of the great awakening, but this is the month of the awakening. It just comes, right? And there you go. You got an archangel in your final outcome, blowing the trumpet. What is that? That sound. What is sound? It's vibrations, high vibrations. What is that? It's healing. You got a card of healing. So much healing that remember I said death and rebirth. This card is attributed to Pluto. This is true death and rebirth. It's literally the dead arising. This is true rebirth. And they're gray in Taurus wisdom, and they now hear the sound of the trumpet. This is a big wake up call. It's an aha moment that you're going to have spiritually. Big, something in your physical world too. That's like what I see now, what I needed to see. Okay. This is like, when you turn on HBO and you get that sound, like you're good. So as you can see, Sagittarius, you're good. Shoot. If you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. And yes, the second spread, we're going to do a second spread, we'll do a spread on the new moon in Taurus. That's going to be big. And then, yes, I'm going to talk about Aries. I'm going to talk about all these big surprises you can expect. There's going to be a lot. Tier 3 members, you can, with partnerships, relationships mostly. Tier 3 members, you know where to find the link. Anyone's welcome to join, become members. And Sagittarius, I'm here for you. If you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. And next week we are doing May. You got something really special that is leading up to that. Next week I'll tell you about it. All right, y'all are amazing. I'll see you next week. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.